And today on Blade Show Atlanta, we're meeting a maker, and it's Greg Medford. How you doing?
Hey guys, Greg Medford of Medford Knife, MKT USA, and my new band, American Service Knife, ASK Knives. So, just giving a shout out, hello, it's Meet the Maker, here I am. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I had my first heckler this year in 13 years in line. I think it's important you remember two things. You don't have to agree with everything, the people around you, to enjoy them, to enjoy life, and enjoy America. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, just because sometimes people speak out and say something that might be a little uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you got to get all butthurt about it and shut off and stop listening. One of the most important things to do is lean into things that are uncomfortable. In the military, they've said for years, embrace the suck. And there's a kind of zen to it. That do those things which are uncomfortable and find out why they're uncomfortable. My words, I don't actually hurt anybody. Sometimes they violate your sensibilities, and sometimes find out what that's all about. My knives are kind of like my personality. They're direct, they're useful, they're a little in your face. I've got little knives and big knives. I've got some with style. I've got some that are all about brute force. When I started making knives, you'll see the knives from that era were all really very practical. Pry open a trunk, stab somebody, you know, the kind of things you do when you're out in the field and you're in the military. That's who I was making knives for. Post-war, thank goodness, finally, I'm making knives that have got a little more finesse to them, maybe have a little more everyday carry practicality and pragmatism to them. So we all kind of dance to the tune of the moment. And when we had two wars going on and we had hundreds of thousands of young men and women deployed around the world doing things, I was kind of geared towards them. And now we don't have as many people deployed, although we still have folks out there. And I'm making stuff for everybody else. When you start a company, you never know when you're going to get a 10,000 knife order. And I opened my books for the Praetorian, and all of a sudden I needed to make 10,000 knives. And everybody said, "Oh, why does he make all those heavy knives?" Because they were all sold. And they were paid for, because I said, I'm not going to close my books, but I'm going to collect money, and you'll get your knife when you get it. Everybody trusts me, and everybody got their knife. Now it's a little different scenario. Now I built a company around that early success, and we're bringing a lot of different products to market. In the next year, you're going to see 2 complete lines of fixed blades coming out with American-made, handmade leather sheaths that look like there's something out of the 1960s that Randall used to do. Absolutely lovely. I've got multiple Bali songs coming out. We've launched one this year called the Viceroy. I've got multiple out the fronts coming out. Our first one is called the Merc 1. So I've got a lot of really cool stuff here, including my first forward flipper called the Antic. So, you know, when the economy gets a little slow and the market gets a little competitive, I see a lot of companies around, new names, new logos. I look down at the knives made by the same Chinese companies. They'll come and go, and I don't give 2 turds for them. What I do is American made and cool. And when the market gets slow or gets a little weird or the economy gets tough, good American makers, we adapt, we improvise, we create, we innovate, we up our game. And it's good for you, the end customer, because we're competing for maybe a little bit smaller industry. And in 2 years, it'll all be back to normal, providing we get the right administration in. So, Trump 2024, Greg Medford of Medford Knife, MKT USA, and ASK Knives. I'm out.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. Here comes a hand from the internet. Thank you so much, Greg, and have a nice day.